As I'm sitting in my office editing a video, I realized that these are the two hilts that I have held on to for probably the longest, and they actually go together. Like, from my childhood, I remember seeing on the TV in the lead up to Attack of the Clones, the scene of Obi-Wan and Mace Windu literally going back to back, you know, fighting off blasts from droids and everything. The gogurt commercial, for some reason, really heavily featured that.
What are you guys doing?
Unintentionally, I have collected and had both of these and have not displayed them together at all. They've been in two completely different spaces, but I've only just now made the connection that these two should be together. They should be displayed together. That, like, brother in arms moment between Mace Windu and Obi-Wan is like a core memory for me. And I think I need to solidify that as a display piece. I don't know what exactly I should do. I have this. This is a shadow box, and obviously I don't think that both of them, that one would, but this one, no, that would not fit long ways, so it, or that way, so it'd have to be this way. This is a very ADHD thought of mine. I am literally in the middle of another project, so my workstation is completely messy. However, this does not require a whole lot of work, I don't think. Because if that was there, I need to be careful because this is actual glass. But if that was there and this was here, are those too far apart? I mean, I don't think so. I think if, like, along with the plaque, that would be pretty nice. Pop this out. I think I want Mace Windu's on top. Do I split them and have the plaque in the middle? I sort of like that. That would at least help fill out the frame. 2 1/4 down. I like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it. And these will get screwed into place. Alrighty, and boom. So now I got some hooks on there, and we will drill through. Now I think I may try something stupid. Who would have guessed? I'd like to see if I can plastic rivet this into place, which I've done before, and it holds pretty well. Only issue is getting your hot end tool hot to the point where you can touch it and it does not stick. It's holding pretty well. Yeah, if it's stupid but it works, it's not stupid. Let's try that again. And your soldering iron or your hot tool needs to be hot enough that it basically doesn't stick to the hot end tool and it creates this little rivet. And then you're able to just pop it through. And it sticks right there, and you just help it along. By melting it to there. Now here's the part where this whole thing either crash and burns or actually frickin' works. That is pretty cool. I guess now I need to figure out the placement of my second one. That's really nice. I mean, the holders themselves are almost invisible, but it holds on to it really well. And I want this one to go this way. Gotta say, like, when I was a kid, specifically lightsaber displays and stuff were like the main thing that I would look up. Like, even before Pinterest was really a thing, I would always try and find cool ways of displaying the lightsabers that I didn't have, but wanted to have in the future. Where do you think that is? Is that 10 1/4? I'm gonna say that's 10 1/4. All right. There's my hooks, and now I need to do the same rivet thing. Rivet to the other one. Man, I love lightsabers. It looks awesome. Awesome. My workshop, it's a complete disaster. You don't have to be kind about it. But I've got a lot of R2-D2 stuff going on right now. Specifically, like a lot of sanding and everything. So the fact that it's this clean is sort of a miracle. I know it's not clean at all. When I'm working on R2, inevitably the entire workbench just like, it turns into a war zone. That's just what happens. And I'm okay with that. I first discovered this technique when I was doing the robot action figure video, and that's how I made all of his fingers individually posable, was with the 3D filament rivet technique, and it worked really, really well. I'm super duper happy with this. In fact, I think I'm gonna bring him inside because I miss him. This is one of my favorite things that I think I've ever made. Partially because I've never made a toy before. That was just, it was like a bucket list item for me. I'm gonna try doing it a little differently on this one. I'm gonna try and melt it into that hole. Yeah, give it a little bit more body. That's looking good. I'm liking that. Now, obviously, I'm gonna put the plaque in the center because I think it's gonna look best. Look at that. So, interesting thing, yesterday when I was designing the little hooks, I went back into Attack of the Clones and I looked up the scene, the sort of arena scene where Obi-Wan gets tossed this lightsaber in the middle of the battle, and I realized something. Either one or two things happened, because this hilt is not the hilt that he gets tossed in the battle arena. The hilt that Obi-Wan gets tossed, handed to him in the battle, is probably a stunt version of Shaak Ti's lightsaber, or Adi Gallia's, or, you know, the clan hilt that has the brass at the top, because you can almost clearly see the two washers that are on that hilt, which means that he was tossed like a stunt hilt, or just an extra hilt that they had. And during the scene where Obi-Wan is taken out by Dooku momentarily, and he has to toss Anakin his lightsaber for the insert shot, they clearly needed something that stood apart from that lightsaber that he actually used. So I think that they either made a special hilt that looked different enough, or it was a CGI asset that they basically put over. But that shot of the lightsaber moving towards Obi-Wan, that single shot, it's this lightsaber, but I think that they filmed that afterwards for the edit. I mean, we see that in Star Wars all the time. This is the hero prop. This officially is what Obi-Wan was using, although on set, he was using a stunt version of another character's lightsaber. Same with Anakin. The hilt that goes tumbling in two is not the hilt that he's using in the arena. That was a version of Ki-Adi-Mundi's, which again, they altered specifically for those two shots. I appreciate it. I really do. I love it when that kind of stuff happens. I mean, even in the original trilogy, the lightsaber that Luke is using is not this lightsaber. It's actually like a dented and repainted version of Alec Guinness's. But if you were to ask someone, what does Luke's lightsaber look like in the, Return of the Jedi? It looks like this, even though half the time that's not what he's using on set.
Never.
And that's perfectly fine with me, because as far as canon goes, these two should be displayed together. So now I need a plaque that's going to go in the center here that talks about the Battle of Geonosis, just for my little nerd brain. Let's make sure that it's actually going to fit behind the glass. Dude, That looks awesome. Let me try and get the reflection out of here. That looks awesome. I am super duper happy with that. That's, oh. I mean, when you put it behind the display, it looks freaking amazing. That looks so good. For the plaque, I'm obviously gonna laser cut something. I've got two options. I have this. Now this is like a sparkly, and that may, like, you know, I got it specifically for Star Wars props because it looks like stars, but would that be too much? Because I didn't want to do the silver. I guess I can try both, right? I'll do both, and then I'll figure out which one I should do. So let's get our laser cutter out. Now, if you haven't seen this already, check this out. Laser cutter. All right, so I'm ready for the first test. I'm gonna start with the starry one. Kind of like it. I'm looking at it, but to do a test, because I can't remember what settings exactly I usually use for this, we're gonna do the starry one. Because I know that the black one's gonna look great. Starry one, I have no idea. So let's give it a go. So I can pretty much guarantee that the shiny doesn't work. The glittery one. The glitters definitely interfere with the laser. It's just bad. I'm gonna attempt a piece of black styrene and see how that goes, because I've had really good luck with it in the past. That came out way better. I mean, the detail is super, super crisp. And I should be able to cut that out, no problem, clean it up, and then hit it with some white paint that'll bleed into all the recessed areas. Some alcohol. So I don't know why, but this is completely unlevel. This thing is wonky, at least a couple millimeters, to the point where visibly it looks like a misprint of like something. It's just not good. It looks completely crooked. Let's try this again. Round 3. While we're waiting though, let's do a paint test. Small letters are perfect. It's the bigger ones that are going to be slightly more tricky. I'll have to go over them multiple times. But, I mean, it'll look great when it's all said and done. I don't know if you can see. Like right there, right below Star Wars, we're supposed to say Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. It didn't laser engrave it, and I don't know why. I don't know if something got in front of the laser. Round 3. How cool is that? I'm gonna let this dry and then probably go over a couple more spaces, like the Star Wars and the Mace Windu and the Obi-Wan Kenobi have just like, probably can get hit again with a good amount of white, but That's gonna look pretty cool. That's awesome. I knew getting a laser cutter was a good idea. There it is. Excuse the reflections. That is a pretty cool lightsaber display, if I do say so myself. I think that's pretty rad. That is gonna go in my office, and the hooks hold on to the lightsabers pretty well just because of the way that they're positioned in correlation with the features of the hilts themselves. It's a little piece of episode 2 nerdiness. I'm a prequel kid, and this just makes me really happy. I think this is better than gogurt. I haven't had gogurt in a while, but I can pretty much guarantee that this is a lot better than that. Thinking about gogurt now, I can almost taste it, and I do miss gogurt. Like a nice, cold gogurt. Nostalgia. One more piece of childhood. Fulfilled.
You can grab gogurt and go.
Welcome to my office. This is where all the chaos happens. I think on my ever-expanding wall, it looks a lot smaller right now than it does in real life. I think I want it to go right here. So I think I'm gonna do that.